When people think about modern fighter jets, they usually imagine massive budgets, giant air bases, and superpower politics. But far from the spotlight, a small Nordic nation quietly built one of the smartest combat aircraft ever to take to the skies. Sweden's Gripen is not about intimidation. It is about survival, efficiency, and outthinking the enemy. Sweden has never relied on sheer numbers or overwhelming force. For decades, it expected one grim possibility: invasion. Surrounded by powerful nations and committed to neutrality, Sweden needed an aircraft that could keep fighting even if its main airbases were destroyed in the first hours of war. That single requirement shaped everything that followed. The result was an aircraft designed to operate where others simply cannot. The Gripen can take off and land on short stretches of road, refuel and rearm in minutes, and disappear before enemy satellites can track it. While other air forces depend on fixed runways, the Gripen turns highways, rural roads, and hidden forest strips into forward airbases. This dispersed warfare doctrine gives the Gripen a unique advantage. Destroying a Gripen force is incredibly difficult because there is no single target to hit. The aircraft blends mobility, speed, and unpredictability into one lethal package. Despite its compact size, the Gripen is far from underpowered. Its lightweight design gives it an exceptional thrust-to-weight ratio, allowing rapid acceleration and sharp maneuvering. In close-range combat, the Gripen's agility becomes a serious threat even to heavier, more expensive fighters. The aircraft's delta wing and canard configuration provide outstanding control at both high and low speeds. This allows pilots to maintain energy in dogfights while still performing aggressive turns that can quickly place an opponent at a disadvantage. But the Gripen's real strength lies in its brain. Equipped with advanced avionics, data fusion, and electronic warfare systems, the Gripen acts as a flying command center. It can track multiple targets at long range, share data with other aircraft, ground units, and naval forces, and coordinate attacks without ever turning on its own radar. This silent fighting capability makes the Gripen extremely difficult to detect. Enemy pilots may never realize they are being tracked until a missile is already on its way. The Gripen's electronic warfare suite is among the most sophisticated in the world. It can jam enemy radars, confuse missile guidance systems, and reduce the effectiveness of advanced air defenses. In modern warfare, where sensors and networks matter more than raw speed, this capability is priceless. Another overlooked advantage is cost. The Gripen is dramatically cheaper to operate than most modern fighters. It requires fewer ground crew, less maintenance time, and lower fuel consumption. This means higher availability, more jets ready to fly when it actually matters. For smaller nations, this changes everything. Instead of owning a handful of expensive aircraft that rarely fly, air forces can maintain a larger, more active fleet that trains constantly and responds instantly. This practical design philosophy has earned the Gripen respect in international exercises. In multiple NATO drills, Gripen pilots have demonstrated the ability to challenge and even outperform more expensive aircraft by exploiting superior tactics, situational awareness, and coordination. The jet is also continuously evolving. Newer variants feature improved radar systems, extended range, enhanced weapons integration, and greater payload capacity. The Gripen is not frozen in time. It grows with the battlefield. Perhaps the most impressive part of the Gripen story is what it represents. It proves that dominance in the air does not come from budget size alone. It comes from understanding your environment, your limitations, and your enemy. Sweden didn't build a fighter jet to show power. It built one to survive the first strike, fight intelligently, and keep flying when everything else is burning. In an age where air combat is increasingly complex and unforgiving, the Gripen stands as a reminder that sometimes the smartest weapon is not the biggest or the most expensive, but the one designed with purpose. Quiet, agile, deadly. That is the Gripen.
The deeper analysts study the Gripen, the clearer one truth becomes. This aircraft was never meant to win beauty contests or dominate headlines. It was meant to survive chaos. And in modern warfare, chaos is guaranteed. Unlike many fifth-generation programs that ballooned in cost and complexity, the Gripen followed a disciplined development path. Saab focused on rapid upgrades rather than endless redesigns. This allows the aircraft to adapt quickly as threats evolve. New software, new sensors, and new weapons can be integrated without grounding the fleet for years. This software-driven approach makes the Gripen feel less like a traditional fighter jet and more like a flying platform, one that evolves continuously. In an era where warfare changes faster than airframes, that flexibility is priceless. Another key strength lies in turnaround time. While some advanced fighters require hours of maintenance between sorties, the Gripen can be refueled, rearmed, and inspected by a small crew in a matter of minutes. In Sweden's doctrine, aircraft are expected to fly multiple combat missions per day from dispersed locations. This high sortie rate creates pressure on the enemy. Even if a Gripen force is numerically smaller, it can maintain constant presence in the air. Over time, this exhausts opposing pilots, aircraft, and logistics chains. The Gripen's engine choice reflects the same philosophy. Rather than chasing extreme performance at the cost of reliability, Saab selected a proven, efficient power plant. This results in lower fuel consumption, reduced maintenance demands, and higher operational readiness. Reliability is not glamorous, but it wins wars. Survivability extends beyond avoiding detection. The Gripen is designed to keep flying even after taking damage. Redundant systems, rugged construction, and simplified maintenance allow it to operate under conditions that would ground more delicate aircraft. This resilience is especially valuable in high-intensity conflicts where precision strikes and cyber warfare degrade infrastructure. The Gripen assumes the battlefield will be damaged and prepares accordingly. Electronic warfare remains one of the jet's most formidable assets. The Gripen does not merely react to threats, it actively shapes the electromagnetic battlefield. By disrupting enemy sensors, misleading missile systems, and masking friendly movements, it changes how opponents perceive reality itself. In air combat, perception is everything. A pilot who believes they are alone may already be surrounded. A radar that shows nothing may be lying. The Gripen exploits this uncertainty, forcing enemies to hesitate, and hesitation is deadly. International exercises have repeatedly demonstrated this effect. Gripen units have surprised more expensive and technologically intimidating opponents by using superior situational awareness and coordination. Rather than charging head-on, they isolate targets, exploit gaps, and disengage before retaliation becomes possible. This hit-and-fade approach mirrors Sweden's broader defensive strategy. The goal is not to dominate permanently, but to deny the enemy control, to make occupation costly, to stretch timelines and drain resources. For many nations, this mindset is increasingly attractive. As defense budgets tighten and threats diversify, air forces are reassessing what they truly need. Not every country requires a global strike platform. Many need a reliable, affordable fighter that can defend airspace, support ground forces, and remain operational under pressure. The Gripen fits this role with remarkable precision. It also offers political flexibility. Nations operating the Gripen retain greater control over upgrades, weapons integration, and mission planning. This independence reduces reliance on external approval and strengthens national sovereignty. In a world where alliances shift and supply chains can be disrupted overnight, that independence carries strategic weight. The Gripen's story is ultimately about priorities. It asks a simple question: is air power about appearing dominant, or about remaining effective when everything goes wrong? Sweden answered that question decades ago. By choosing intelligence over excess, resilience over spectacle, and adaptability over prestige, it created a fighter jet that thrives in uncertainty. The Gripen does not promise invincibility, it promises survivability. And in modern warfare, that promise may be the most valuable of all. Quietly, methodically, and without fanfare, Sweden's fighter jet masterpiece continues to prove that true strength is not measured by cost or size, but by the ability to endure, adapt, and fight another day.